Thank you for checking out crypto.chartguys.com, the source for technical analysis in the cryptocurrency world. We are proud to announce our own crypto alert system designed to give you the most critical technical trading information possible no matter where you are. Keep your eyes on the market with mobile or email alerts for MACD crosses, RSI levels, and even inside bar alerts for dozens of coins across multiple exchanges. New features and proprietary ChartGuys indicators are already in development. Our alert system is very easy to customize and utilize, so don't hesitate to sign up for the most effective crypto trading tool on the market at crypto.chartguys.com. Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. Coming to you live from my hotel room, although I'm not live, it's recorded. Coming from the Transparency 18 conference, day number 1 in the books, and I've got my fancy suit on. First time I've worn a suit, I think, when someone's not dead or getting married. But I'm going to do a dedicated video to what I've learned and my insights and reflections and all that. I'll put that out in a couple days. We still got tomorrow to go with a bunch of keynote speakers. And I'll put together that information in a video that is certainly interesting me fundamentally, which is not something that happens often. If there's not a chart on it, I usually don't care, but not in this instance. So I'll let you know all about it. So where we stand right now on Bitcoin, and I am currently in very small positions. I entered this morning and they are in the red, so I am considering taking a loss, but I'll let you know my mindset. And I have the luxury of being very lackadaisical about this decision because, again, they're very small orders, knowing that we were buying into a pullback and we didn't have any kind of climax indication of, high volume dump and extreme oversold levels, and we also didn't have any trend change, so just very small initial amounts. But what we're looking at first is Bitcoin. We're still looking at the potential of the daily time frame forming a higher low. Support has to hold above 7,927. Currently, we're still above that level. The bears have a little bit more volume than the bulls would like to see. We can see that last bull volume day didn't really have any volume behind it, and the bear volume still pretty low comparatively. So I'm watching for the potential that we do still form this daily equilibrium pattern. The 4-hour RSI is not oversold. We're just seeing an inside bar form and now a second inside bar. Things are tight. The bears have momentum in their favor. There's no doubt about that. A bear cross of these exponential moving averages. The hourly time frame, every bounce, look where we're rejecting from. I cannot stress the importance of these 12 and 26 period exponential moving averages on the hourly time frame enough. I use them as my guide for support and resistance time and time again. It's really, look at how many times it's played out. We just reject 1, 2, 3, 4 times now. And here on the hourly time frame is the same thing the bulls are looking to do on the daily, trying to form a higher low and then break the lower high pattern. So the first key resistance on the hourly is 8,240. If we break that level, we do have a higher low of support that has formed, and that will be the first shift on the hourly trend. We'll see an hourly bull MACD cross, and we'll be looking at the potential of this daily higher low forming. So that's the first signal we're going to be looking for. Again, that has not happened since the top and we started pulling back. So a higher low and a higher high is what we're keeping an eye out for into tonight. So I personally am watching the shift as well with ETH. It's a major shift going on right now. I pointed out in recent videos how it was time to keep an eye on ETH BTC. Look at the daily trend. The daily trend is now lost. The uptrend is broken for the bulls. So there's our base of support. We have lost that higher low pattern. The next support is down at 7752. This is very notable for me because look at the weekly time frame. I am scouting a lower high on the weekly chart because of the wide range and the setup for the equilibrium pattern. So here was our higher low, and after 6 green weeks in a row, we are looking for our lower high. And now that the daily chart has lost its higher low pattern, it has lost the uptrend, the odds that our weekly lower high is in increase substantially. So now, after 6 weeks of being reigning king bull, ETH is now losing that, and it's showing a lot more weakness in the short term today compared to Bitcoin. Look at the increasing bear volume on this daily chart as the uptrend has been lost. This is notable. We've been easy go-to play ETH on the bounce for 6 weeks now. That's no longer the case. So now I'm going to constantly be scouting who's the best out of the big 3 or 4 to play. If you're on GDAX, BCH is in the conversation as well. So I'm going to be comparing LTC, BTC charts. Let's do it right now. And I actually haven't done this yet as I just got through the door, but we'll do it live, recorded. So what I'm looking at on the daily time frame for LTC, BTC is really the bulls aren't doing much. We had a base of support here that's still trying to hold, but we're losing it a little bit. And the bulls really have to break 1726 in order to prove anything to me on the daily time frame. So as far as I'm concerned, that makes Bitcoin the play. And let's see if we can even pull up a BCH BTC chart. Weak, lower high, potentially a lower low. So it looks like Bitcoin is the play out of the four right now. But that doesn't mean it's a play because the bears are still in control. We're trying to hold the support level. This would be a bottom fishing play. If you were looking for an entry here, you would put a stop below 8,145. And if you wanted to give it more space, you're looking at the daily low of 7,927. You would put your stop below that level. All depends on what you want to do. Otherwise, again, we're in this tightening weekly equilibrium pattern. As we know, there's less trading opportunity the tighter this equilibrium gets. So when I'm giving these trade suggestions, it's only if you're active and comfortable. And otherwise, you are patiently waiting potentially another month or so for a break of this weekly equilibrium. A lot more clarity. With this break will come volume, volatility, and that's what we're waiting on. And again, I showed the example the other day of WEED, but look at the follow through again. Look at this weekly breakout, all-time highs in sight on the break of the weekly equilibrium pattern, which would be best case scenario for the Bitcoin bulls if we could break bullish. I don't expect to get to all-time highs as quickly as WEED did, but the bears have the short-term control, and there is nothing wrong with continuing to learn. I mean, this is a gift. If you are in your beginning stages and not comfortable with technical analysis and still learning, this is a gift. This is a free grace period where the market is saying, here you go, we're going to slow down. We're going to make a lack of opportunity and a lack of volume. Go study. And that's what is a good idea to be doing during this time. So Bitcoin looking for the hourly higher low, higher high. That's what we're watching into tonight. Ethereum, so a lot of weakness. We are close to a bear break. We've been watching this daily equilibrium pattern. If we break 656.50, we see a bear break. Increasing bear volume, and we are going to be shifting to further consolidation on the weekly time frame. Again, we had multiple inside bars on this weekly chart on the verge of breaking bearish. Has not happened yet, but we're on the verge. The 4-hour RSI is approaching oversold. We've definitely been pulling back very significantly. If the bulls were going to bounce, here is where they're going to do it to hold this support level. And the hourly RSI oversold as well. So this is another good bottom fishing play. And again, it's just the risk to reward scenario where if you make an entry, let's say you make an entry at 661, you stop out if we see a break of 656, you're risking $5. What's the reward? The reward is the potential that we see an hourly oversold bounce, and it's a bare minimum 2-to-1 risk to reward. An hourly oversold bounce could easily see a $10 move from 661, and best case scenario would be the daily chart forms the higher low and the bulls head back towards 700. So that's a potential bottom fishing play as well. Essentially where we stand with these names is we are testing key support. The bulls' backs are against the wall, and we aren't dumping through these support levels yet, but the bears do still have the momentum. It is up to the bulls to prove themselves, and they have not done so yet today. Litecoin, daily time frame, also trying to form a higher low. 129.10 is the support level. If we break it, then we have just another lower high and lower low, and it's one step back in terms of the bulls changing the daily trend. Remember, to change the daily trend convincingly, we need the daily higher low and then the higher high. So if we drop to a lower low, it's like starting from square one again. So the volume is not worrisome for the bulls. It's non-existent the past 2 days, but the bears have control, and we're down at the low of this consolidation. 4-hour chart, RSI is not oversold. We're heading down towards that support. Hourly RSI is on the verge of oversold. Last resistance on the hourly, 133.35. Anything under that resistance is just a lower high. So heading into tonight, we're watching the hourly lower high pattern. The bulls are trying to break that level to defend daily supports. And of course, if we break those daily supports, the bears are going to affirm that they are still in full control, keeping in mind that even if Bitcoin does break this daily support level all the way down at 7,927, that the weekly chart can form a higher low still anywhere above 6,450. We're in a scenario where it's just the higher low potentially forms, the greater the percent chance of a bull break following it. Whereas if we pull all the way back down to 7,000, the bulls have a lot more work to do to get back up to this 10,000 recent lower high. So that's it. That's the summary heading into tonight. Bears in control, all about oversold conditions and keeping an eye on 4-hour RSIs, on hourly RSIs. We got 4-hour inside bars on the verge of breaking bearish. So I personally, if we do drop down and break to a lower low, I'll probably just eat my small loss. And again, definitely highlight a lot of winning trades because the cryptocurrency space has been very good to us in that regard. But there are losers as well, and we just need to keep those losers small. So again, being in this scenario, I'm never going to enter a full position. Whereas if we're making a clear bull break or blue sky breakout, I'll absolutely enter a full bull position. But that hasn't happened since the lows of the bounce of Bitcoin on that equilibrium back in early April. So just small positions, looking to begin to establish a larger position if the bounce did end up playing out, but obviously it has not. So I will cut that loose sooner rather than later and give back a small amount of profit. 3 steps forward, 1 step back is the way I like to go. That's about it. We'll check back in tomorrow. Continue to do good things out there, everyone. I had a nice encounter last night from the airport with an Uber guy, and he's from Russia. He's been here 3 years. He came from Russia, not speaking any English, not knowing anything about the roads in Atlanta. He's driven 11,000 rides in that time. He now speaks English fluently. Definitely still, a little broken up with an accent, but I understood him perfectly fine. And he now knows the city like the back of his hand driving. So I really admired his persistence, and he was a great guy and really fun. We talked about Pink Floyd and The Who, and I ended up giving him a tip that was hundreds of percent more than what the ride cost. So again, just having the financial freedom where an insignificant amount, where this amount, is a small fraction of a fee that I would pay on a trade maybe. And for him, it's going to be the biggest tip he's probably had all week, maybe all month, maybe all year, who knows. But anyways, he deserved it. He's a hard worker. That's that. I appreciate you watching. See you tomorrow.